Welcome. Frank Bay Live, the Scante Hour, Boxing Talk. Salute Eric Gomez. Thank you. As you can see, the eye candy. I believe that's the UFC fighters. You know how we do it in Frank Bay. We get nasty here to talk about apparently the announcement that's soon to be Conor Benn, Ryan Garcia. We will break that down. David Benavidez, Keyshawn Davis, Bill the Goat Haney, right? He's in there. Yo. Yeah, man. Special edition. Let's get it. Let's do a little intro. You know, I like to do a little intro, put the disclaimers up. But let's get to that. That's right. Right. Saturday night boxing. There's no boxing going on. Frank Bay got the girls for the chat. The best girls that I'm going to get, right? Hold on real quick. It's all in the imagination. You know, you know that the best sex weapon, the best sex instrument that a man has is his imagination. You know, you got to be able to turn a 3 into a 10. That's what's called magic. But anyway, I know you guys want to talk boxing. You don't want to hear about women. There was some boxing today. Zuffa boxing. The one on the right. Yeah, that's Mackenzie Dern, right? 100. Yeah. Your best sex weapon is your imagination. You know what I'm saying? You got to be, women are emotional, you know. It's Saturday night, so this is a little freestyle, you know. You got to be able to, women are emotional. You got to be able to get to her emotions, you know, and that's through imagination. But anyway, we can get to that later. Frank Bay, can you rate me? Well, I need an actual thumbnail picture. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we had some boxing today. The Wank Bank. Yeah, man, you know what I mean? I mean, look, man, if you've been with a chick for a long time and you got a good relationship, you know, you guys can play the you know, pretend to be the mailman. She's the maid. You know, you gotta use your imagination, man, especially when you've had a torta for a while, or you know what I'm saying, man. Y'all are grown men. You know how we do it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make it fun. That's what we do at Frank Bay. We have fun, even with this boxing shit, right? There's no boxing going on, so you gotta make it fun. Use the imagination, freakling back. Exactly. I like to throw the eye candy because see, it gets you guys going. You know, I do it different here. You know what I'm saying? I know. You know, it's like when you go to the club. They got the waitresses, the Budweiser chicks. They know what brings dudes. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have, you know, Hooters. Perfect example. Shakur's Duck and Haney. We will get to that. We will actually get to some boxing. You know, I thought, you know what, Saturday night, there's no boxing. Let me try to get in here and get you know, talk some boxing for you guys. You know, there's really nothing going on. How did you guys like the Zuffa card? Was the Zuffa card suitable? Was it a good card? Did you guys watch it? Only tortas for me have carnitas and pico de gallo. That's right. Who's better, Kobe or LeBron? Liam Key. I would have to go. Damn, you know what? Michael Jordan. Main event was very good. Yeah, drop a one if you want to hop in right now. You know what I'm saying? It's Saturday night. It's more of a freestyle episode. I'm just gonna drop it now because you know, I don't like talking alone. I only do it to have like a somewhat of a show. But talking to myself, I talk to you guys. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do here at Frank Bay. Frank Bay talks to the people. You know, we're nothing without you guys. So there's nothing going on, right? I said it earlier. You know, I don't like this afternoon boxing. It's just not my thing. I had to go out. You know, and do my duties as a, you know, man. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't able to catch it. I wish I could. You know, but I wasn't able to catch Frank Bay, my step bro. I have a step bro out there. You know, my pops was a Rolling Stone. Who's better, Messi or Ronaldo? I don't even honestly. I you know, I guess it's the World Cup, right? Big news. I'll just go with Messi because he's like a Chad and he makes a ton of money, right? Frank Bay for the people, by the people. Exactly. I'm nothing without the people. Chris Billiam-Smith. Yeah, it was like Rocky, right? It was like a fucking Rocky, rock'em sock'em robots. I mean, they were slugging it out. That's what's crazy. BB Ingenuity. Daily reminder that Bud beat the greatest Mexican boxer. Hey, man, you know what, man? You win some, you lose some. Canelo's back. Crawford retired. It is what it is. He wants a rematch. He don't want to give it to him. What can you do? You know, BDA boxing. Still waiting on the BDA doc on my life and power of Bomb Squad. I know, right? Eric Gomez is legendary in these YTBC streets. If you don't know what YTBC is, it's the YouTube boxing community. You know, BDA's up there. Eric Gomez is up there. Who else is up there? Aljo. I know BBC Ingenuity. Can somebody, I told you, can somebody make a Frank Bay bot account? Like, there's no Frank Bays going to other channels and spamming Frank Bay, I need that. Can somebody do it for me? But don't tell them, right? Make it a Frank Gay. That's what people call me. Like, so original. Frank Gay. But yeah, man, we are back with Saturday night. Did you guys enjoy? There was some other fights. Actually, there's that Mexicano card on right now. It used to be Telefutura, right? Wasn't that they used to be? What was the other one? Televisión and Telefutura used to have cards. Golden Boy even had some cards on those shows. But now it's 2026, man. What was that, like 2014? Frank Bay Cement Dweller? What does that even mean? What is it? You mean Cement Dweller? Am I my mom's basement? BDA unbanned me from the YouTube live chats. BDA doesn't ban anybody. He's open platform, man. It's free smoke. So I dropped the link already. Telemundo. Yeah. I thought Telefutura, right? But yeah, I think it's on ESPN Boxeo. There's some fights from Mexico. But yeah, the news is Ryan Garcia. As you see, if you look at my screen, I'm going to do my best to bring it up. Let's see. Damn, my shit just glitched out. Okay. Ah, man. Technology. Okay, here it is. As you see, source Chris Manis, Inevitable D-Block says, Dana White just confirmed that Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn is getting an official announcement very shortly. Zuffa Boxing is making moves. And here was the Rocky moment. Chris Billiam-Smith. I mean, they were just duking it out, right? It's insane what they were doing to each other. Can you guys hear that? Did I even get sound on that? I don't even think I got sound. Ah, man. Let me bring the sound back. Let me see if I can share the screen with you guys and bring my sound back. Ah, man, I am such a fool sometimes. Damn it. Let's see. Share screen. There it is. Can you guys hear it now? Let me get it back to what it was. Yeah, I got it back now. Yeah, man. Did you guys enjoy the Zuffa card? Look, I guess I'm a casual because I wasn't able to catch it. There was a Japanese card last night. Kabuki Theater was fighting last night. Jason Maloney, that guy's been resurrected how many times? Jason Maloney, man. What a fucking, that guy has more lives than Super Mario Brothers, doesn't he? Holy shit, man. That guy's a legend. They're brothers, right? They're bros. Jason Maloney and what's the other brother? Somebody help a brother out. But yeah, man. Let's see. This was Massey, I believe. Massey and Clark. I believe that's what it was. Let's see. Okay, I missed a bunch of comments. Damn. Let's see. Benavidez is ducking some Samoan bum, and Navarrete is ducking Oshaki Foster. We can get to that. I dropped the link already. Messick duck. It's better in the UK. Well, BDA likes that because he likes to get to nappy nap early. You know what I'm saying? Joe Apataya beat your brother Brandon Gladden. Rozeki fought as if he was on meth. I've been seeing that, right? He looked like a SS soldier in there. Yeah, man. I mean, look, man. I wish I was able to get it there. I'd save some of these. So there it is. Boom, boom, boom. Holy shit, they were nugging.
He's the kind of guy when he digs to the body like that.
God.
Right hand. Strength is great.
Damn, he just ate that shit. These white boys, man. White boy summer. You know they always call UK bums, but I'm digging the white boys. You know, UFC, they started the white boy trend. Now white boys is back. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, what's up, Bones? Long time no see. Look at that shit, man. This is some Rocky level shit.
He's the kind of guy when he digs to the body like that. Right hand. Strength is great for Billum Smith. Rozecki's never been down.
So, is that Rock'em Sock'em Robots? You know, I love it though, man. Damn, I missed it. Holy shit. Stephen Fulton beat the beans out of Figueroa. Christian Billiam Smith destroyed every brother at cruiserweight. Yeah, man, he's a beast, right? Holy shit. BDA says, I think Rozicki's corner stopped the bout. Why have the guy fighting like a tard only to pull him out as soon as things get rough? You know, I was just going to ask that. And there was fights yesterday on Pro Box, man. You know, so we've had some boxing. It just wasn't high level. I guess we call it high level boxing. But it's entertainment no less. You know, Alan Garcia's Pro Box TV. It's entertaining, but both of them lose at any top level. See, that's the thing with boxing, right? It's like, if it ain't top level, then it's nothing. You know, that's the way most fans are, you know, especially casual boxing fans, right? If it isn't the best of the best, then people don't care. So I pinned the chat. I mean, hop in early, help a brother out. Hit the like for Frank Bay on a Saturday night. And I really appreciate you guys being here, you know. Maybe you're getting ready to go bang a torta, you know what I'm saying? The Pro Box card was good too, but Pro Boxes now go behind a paywall. Yeah, that's what I seen. But you know, it's only $5. But even then, you know, $5, right? It's kind of sad news, right? Pro Box, they come in, they are what you would consider like a minor league of boxing, right? I mean, it's not HBO, it's not Showtime, it's not DAZN. They don't have the big bucks behind them, but it's kind of sad. I mean, if you really think about it, I was kind of sad. You know, I guess boxing scene let a lot of people go, a lot of writers and things like that, and they let people go, man. So, you know, it's not a good look. SJW, hey, you're from BDA's chat. Salute, thank you. Hit the like, subscribe. Pro shit versus boxer. Who would dismantle who first? I think boxer is in legal trouble with Zuffa. They're suing Zuffa. It's all the boxing news you can handle, right? When you really don't have fights, then it's really to the rumors, news, and notes. No Mexican would have beat Roy Jones or Ward. Well, you know, Andre Ward, you know, he lost to Kovalev. Most people believe he lost to Kovalev. And he was a dirty fighter. And Roy Jones was a cheat. Mexican boxing is led by self-hating. Okay, you're on your hype. No, you know, it is. Oh, Bones. Oh, that was Bones? Mexican boxing is led by self-hating Mexican Bam and a half Ecuadorian Benavidez. You know what, man? Sad but true, right? I guess Bam, you know, he believes he's a Tejano. Was somebody called him a midget Tejano? I don't even think BBC is a real brother. Too much trolling. No, he's actually, I think I know who he is. David Benavidez, Dimitri Bivol, and Archer better be over Michael Spinks, Roy Jones, and Andre Ward. Yeah. Y'all were crying on September 13th. Look, it's boxing, man. You know, you fight the fights. That's what we do, you know. Is it about race and politics? Yeah, of course. You know, the World Cup is coming up, right? What's more race and politics than the World Cup? It's all about race and nationality. And then, you know, we try to pretend that, you know, most people, they try to pretend that they don't do it for boxing. They go, oh, well, I don't have favorites. I'm not tribal. Nah, you know what? We all are. I think we all are. And when I came into this boxing fear, I noticed that that's on YouTube, on Twitter. All you're going to see is tribalistic sides, you know? And I'm okay with it. You know, we need to be able to speak our minds. If you don't like black fighters, just say it. If you don't like Mexican fighters, Latino fighters, just say it. It's okay. This is a free smoke, free space. And we say what we feel. Bam looks like a Home Depot labor worker and says he's not Mexican. I don't know if he said that, but Yeah, he's looking kind of pretty boyish, right? Kind of like a little nerd. He likes to wear like Hello Kitty and shit like that. All the brothers were crying when Deontay Wilder got destroyed by Tyson Fury. Yes, there was a epic meltdown, and I loved it. What's your prediction on Boots versus Xander? I got Boots destroying him in Nate. My prediction is official prediction. Jaron Ennis should win, but I think Xander should give him a fight. I mean, he's a big guy with long, strong reach. You know, it should be a fight. It should, but you know, most people are picking Xander Zayas, and I mean Jaron Ennis, and I mean it's just obvious, right? They're going by the eye test. I'm pro Gringo. Yeah, man, white boys come to fight. Look at this shit.
Was he standing up after that second right hand? He's never been
boom,
down
boom,
with this fighting style.
Boom.
He's the kind of guy when he.
Man, they were nugging it out, man. That's all you can ask for with fighters, right? Is that they go toe to toe. That's what we want. And then when they do, we call it rock 'em sock 'em. It's crazy, man. Boxing fans are never happy. Everyone thought Golovkin beat the steroid tacos out of Canelo. I got 3 BAMs working for my roofing company right now. Damn. Do you pay them? Are you gonna? You know what you should do? What I've seen on social media, right? Have you seen this yet? Where people hire laborers and then they call ice on them. So Bones, that's what you should do, right? You should call ice on them, and that way you don't have to pay. It's crazy. It's a crazy world we live in. Zayas does seem very confident for whatever that's worth. Hey, man, anybody with frosted tips, BDA, you got to give props. That's ultimate confidence, right? He's wearing loafers. He's wearing his Cabana shirt. I mean, he's got to be confident. That's all you can ask for. Pig Boy, Andy Ruiz, Doug Wilder. BBG, you're on one, right? Dimitri Bivol, Archer Better Bivol are still undefeated against the brothers. Well, there's not many brothers up there right now. LOL. So, you know, for the Zuffa card, man, you know, just my 2 thoughts on it. I've liked the Zuffa, but the afternoon cards, well, I understand it was overseas, but it's not really my thing, and not really the names. But you know, the rumors are, you know, they got Dana White. He's saying that he's actually going to be announcing Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. That's what he's claiming. So Dana White, man, poised to do big things. You know, they were talking shit about Eddie Hearn. But what do you guys think about this, man? What do you guys think about this news? Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn. Is that a big fight? Is it a big fight? You know, I think it depends on where it's at, right? Ryan said it was Las Vegas. I guess they've been chirping back and forth. Ryan is in where is he at? He's in Japan right now. So Ryan Garcia is doing really big things in boxing, man. He was on Jimmy Fallon. You know, he's been doing kick streams. Ryan Garcia, man, he's the big news, right? You know, the only other news in boxing right now is the whole Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson. You know, Shakur Stevenson's taking a beating. And, you know, I don't even like to, you know, when you're doing boxing content, I'm coming on to talk with you guys. And it's really hard to do it if all you have is all these rumors, you know. All you have is Shakur Stevenson tweeting. That's all he does. I mean, he even called himself Shakur Twitterson. You know, I'd rather seen Shakur Stevenson versus Ryan Garcia. I thought that was the biggest fight to make. But Shakur Twitterson, he wants to talk about catch weights, and he's not a big guy. The link is in the chat, guys. You know, you can hop on now, talk about what you want to talk about. David Benavidez taking a beating. Devin Haney is saying that he will only fight Keyshawn Davis if he gets Shakur Stevenson. I don't believe that or buy that for a minute. David Benavidez, he's getting trashed. Now he's saying he'll fight Archer Better Biev. I don't think that's the fight we need or want to see. You know, so that's the thing with boxing, man, is all you really got is rumors, news, and notes. We get some boxing. I mean, there's boxing on right now. Dennis Ugas, is he trying to come back? He's fighting a 8-rounder right now against the guy Lopez. It looks like they pulled him out of the stands. But when it comes to this boxing shit, man, next week is Bam Rodriguez versus Antonio Vargas. Doesn't seem to be a lot that people are gravitating to. Bam Rodriguez, you got to understand he's in the lower weight classes, right? He's in the lower weight classes. So, a lot of people, they don't really pay attention to the lower weight classes. A lot of people that talk boxing, that know boxing, that come on boxing, they got YouTube channels, X accounts, Twitter accounts, people got like 20,000 followers, 40,000 subscribers, 80,000 sometimes. And they'll tell you they don't follow the lower weight classes. They don't follow guys like Bam Rodriguez. It's crazy to think, right? People call themselves boxing fans. So this is Benavidez with the Seattle Seahawks. Benavidez is doing big things. Virgil Ortiz sighting. So this is what Benavidez Sr. says he wants Artur Beterbiev, because as you know, Artur Beterbiev had said some things about that David Benavidez ducked him. Now they're saying they want to make the fight. The other news, so Shakur Stevenson, Bill Haney. Bill Haney is saying he wants Shakur Stevenson. Or they want Shakur Stevenson, but Zuffa is trying to make them fight Keyshawn Davis first, because as you know, Jay Prince manages both Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson. And as you know, they're brothers and they'll never fight. So, this is boxing, man. This is boxing in 2026. This is pretty much what we got. Twitter war beast, and this is what we have to talk about. Who's ducking who? And it's David Benavidez ducking Artur Beterbiev. This is a fight that probably won't happen. So all we have is just fights that won't happen. But what we do have is Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn. It looks like they're going to announce that. And I think it's a mid-fight. It's two guys that people don't feel that are very skilled. They don't think that Ryan Garcia is very skilled. They don't think Conor Benn is very skilled. Does that make for a good fight? I think it does. I think it makes for an action-packed banger of a fight. I think this will be a good fight. I think it does, maybe 300, 400,000 pay-per-views. If it's in the States, Las Vegas, maybe you get the Brits coming over. Conor Benn has been in the news. He's been everywhere. He's at all the fights. I think he was at the Zuffa fight today. Was he not? Can somebody confirm? So, it's in September, so we'll have to wait and see. It's still months away. But as far as boxing goes, this is the boxing news today. What do you guys think about Keyshawn Davis and the Devin Haney thing? How does that go? Do you think we get that fight? Does that fight come to fruition? So it says this guy Nuke, he says Shakur Stevenson not going to activate WBO status as champion, moving up to fight Devin Haney, just like Devin Haney won't mandate WBO to get Xander Zayas and Boots Zayas winner. So this has pretty much been the big news, and I don't even think it's really news. So this guy, this is Najee. I guess he's a big X account. I think he's with DAZN. So Bill Haney is saying that they want Jaron Ennis, Sebastian Fundora, and Virgil Ortiz. Now tell me if Bill Haney doesn't sound on the Bocane. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. This is what people listen to and believe nowadays. Let's take a look.
I said that Xander Zayas is big and a tough guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And also.
So did you hear that? He's talking about Xander Zayas, and he was calling out Xander Zayas. Oh, I've been missing all the comments. Sorry. I pay those Guatemalans with beer. Damn, you're messed up, man. That's messed up. Blessed, highly favored. Damn, I've been missing all the comments. Sorry. Dana White was indeed at today's Zuffa White. No, was Conor Benn, Lewis Crocker versus Liam Pato. Who you got? Lewis Crocker, I guess he can punch, right? Boots will destroy Devin. Coach Eddie, ATL. Oh, yeah, man. Coach Eddie loves him some Boots Ennis. Boots will definitely struggle against Haney. Well, I mean, look, Bill Haney is calling all these guys. I don't get it.
You know, I said that Xander Zayas is big and a tough guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Bill Haney was calling out Xander Zayas, and that was all fake news, right? Like anybody that knew that was fake news. But now he's going the extra mile. Let's listen to the rest.
And also said Virgil Ortiz is very dangerous. And that don't think that other big tall dude, he's just a freak. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Fundora.
Yeah, you know,
Fundora.
Okay, so he's mentioned Virgil Ortiz and Fundora. I don't know why he would do it. Devin Haney fights at 147. He ran from a 140-pounder in Jose Ramirez.
He's the Wemby of the boxing. It doesn't mean that he can't be beat, but it's an extremely tall task. So when I say that we're definitely looking at him, you know what I'm saying? We'll fight any of them at 147.
Okay, did you hear that? He said, we're looking at him, we'll definitely fight him. And then he jive talks and says at 147.
We'll fight any of them at 147.
Why would you? There's no way that any of these guys, Jaron Ennis, Sebastian Fedora, and Virgil Ortiz, could ever make 147. Did Sebastian Fedora ever even fight at 147? Virgil Ortiz almost died making 147, and Jaron Ennis, I mean, there's no way he could ever make 147. This is crazy talk. I don't understand why people believe anything this guy Bill Haney says.
You know what I'm saying? We'll fight any of them at 147. But of course, we like the way that Xander looked. You know what I'm saying? And now we're gonna look at him with him in boots. You know?
All right. So the jive talker himself, Bill Haney, at 147. Yeah. No. I mean, I think the guy is definitely on something. I mean, I don't know if he's misspeaking or miscalculating, but there's no way you misspoke that if you know boxing. And this guy, look at this guy's face, Najee. This guy's like a mainstreamer. And I guess he just sits there and takes it. Like, he doesn't even believe it. But see, this is the thing with boxing media and YouTubers. And these guys are paid by these guys like Bill Haney. I mean, I've seen it plenty of times that they say Bill Haney pays YouTubers. Hey, Bill Haney, you can come pay me. Right? Nobody likes y'all, no wonder. Okay, you guys are going back and forth about race and politics. But this is definitely it. This is definitely a situation of race and politics with Bill Haney. He knows how to play the game. I've said this before. These guys, like David Benavidez, is playing the boxing game, the politics. He's definitely playing the game. Now he's calling out Artur Beterbiev. It's funny that Bill Haney is not calling out Fundora in this. He did. He mentioned Fundora's name. But why would you say at 147? Africans for Frank Bay. Everybody for Frank Bay. That's right. Frank Bay lets everybody talk. See, that's what I do. I don't ban or boot anybody. Anybody's welcome. I would like to speak to everybody and anybody, you know. The link is in the chat. Hit the like. Saturday Night Boxing. You know, we're going through it. But see, Steve Kim, he says too many of them, certain fans believe that being on social media has replaced the value of actually fighting often. Twitter has hurt most of these fighters' profiles with the fans. Twitter negotiations, arguing back and forth, and so on. There's more fighting going on than in the ring. I spoke about this nonstop. Boots will cook Xander. Eddie, the last conversation we had, unless you bet the house, I don't want to hear it. Show your betting slip because you don't believe that. You don't really believe it. We'll fight Fundora at 147. He's not allowed to punch back or breathe. Yeah, man. I mean, look, man, this is where we're at now. This is where we're at in boxing talk. Because right now, you know, the schedule is a little slim, right? There hasn't been any fights to really talk about. We had Zuffa boxing with no names. We got Bam next week, but it's a guy nobody really knows. So, you know, the best we can do is look at Twitter wars. And that's all you see. This guy, Shakir Twitterson, that's all he does. All he is on Twitter. And he brags about it. He says, I could fight anybody on the planet and make a bag now. Ain't that some shit? You want to be my next opponent? He's talking to some fan. YouTube America hates white America hates Mexicans more. Okay, you're on another level than me. Boots was getting his ass whipped by Karen in the second fight. Yeah, and Karen just got whooped. Yo, Frank, what's up, Alfredo? Salute. Hit the like, hit the link. Ryan Garcia is a cokehead. That's allegedly. It's never been proven. Is he a head case? Absolutely. But can he fight? Sure. G-Easy 247. If Boots cooks Zayas, will you still be calling him Booty Anus? You were here when I was calling him that? That's because he dug Virgil Ortiz. That's just a fact. And yes, if he cooks Zayas, I will, you know, I've been calling him by his name because he took the fight. But he has acted like, you know, he's done some bitch made shit. Just saying. It's the truth. It's the truth. Don't do drugs. Yes, never do drugs. But yeah, man, all you see is Twitter wars. They've been going back and forth. Shakir Twitterson posts all this generic, they hold me down, nobody wants to see me win, etc. Boots is trash. Yeah, you know what, man? He's largely unproven. This is his first step up fight in 35 fights. When have you ever seen that? 35 fights in, and this is his first step up fight. That's just the facts. I'm sorry if you're a Drawn Ennis fan, but those are the facts. And is he beating Xander Zayas? Yeah, but you know, you guys are saying Xander's green. He's never fought nobody, so he gets a little credit, but it doesn't make him top 5 pound for pound. Virgil Ortiz is a scrub. Hey, man, I mean, look, Virgil Ortiz, you know, he's had some issues. He's had some good wins. He's still never been a champion. But I know one thing, Drawn Ennis ducked the fight. It is what it is, you know? That's just what happened. You can say he's a scrub, but Drawn Ennis didn't want to fight him for like $6 million. Anyone got the clip of Verge saying he and Boots will meet all the way up there? Yeah, I think that was like years ago. I mean, we're talking like 6-7 years ago. Stanionis is not elite. Yeah, man, I mean, none of these guys are elite. Drawn Ennis, Xander Zayas, Virgil Ortiz, they're not elite. You know, it's boxing, man. This is what we've come. They don't fight often enough is one thing, you know. Look at this guy, Moises Atama, man. They're already hyping him up. But, you know, we see him twice a year. He's going to fight in August, and then will he fight again? I don't know. Knockout 86 will cook you on the Boots Virgil topic. Well, you know, he's more than welcome to come here and cook me. The link is in the chat. That's what I do here, is to talk to you. But how? He ducked the fight for his biggest, highest payday. Virgil definitely. How? Man, there's you're insane. The Turkey Ali is on record saying it. There's no denying that Drawn Ennis turned off his phone. That's what happened. I'm sorry to tell you. AI, okay, you know, you got to be more creative and funny. You're just not even funny with it anymore. So, G-Easy says, I'm a casual, so I can't memorize everything that happened with the situation. But that nigga definitely KO does. We'll have him. Look, man, the link is in the chat. I mean, if you're his boyfriend, have him come over here. You know what I mean? I don't go anywhere and hype up my man or, you know, some other YouTuber. Frank Bay speaks for Frank Bay. I would never speak for another person. That's just something I wouldn't do. And, you know, I know that guy blocks people. You know, he's kind of, look, man, I don't like, look, go like and subscribe to KO if you know who he is, but he blocks people. That's hoe shit. You know, you got to be able to talk to everybody and anybody and whatever opinion they have. Now, if I have an opinion and you don't like it, that's why I dropped the link. Get on here and tell me I'm full of shit and I don't know boxing and I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Rico Verhoeven over Riddick Bowe. Yeah, Rico. Frank Bay cooking ninjas down bad. Hey, man, look, man. we're all susceptible to get cooked. You know what I'm saying? I've probably been cooked before. I don't hide it, but I'm up for the challenge. That's the difference, right? Are you up for the challenge? If you talk this shit, people take down their lives, they delete their tweets. Nothing I've ever done, I've deleted or took down. You know what I'm saying? Everything is up there. And if people will clip me and they'll bring it back, throw it in my face, like this whole Boots and Xander thing. You know what I'm saying? All I said was Xander could be competitive. He has a chance. He has the boxing acumen. He can box. He has a size and reach. He's gonna be the same size, if not bigger, than Jaron Ennis, and I think it'll be a decent matchup. Now, yeah, if Jaron Ennis knocks him out, it's not a good look, right? But I'm not picking Xander Zayas. People get so confident in their picks, and they're like, "Hey, man, this guy whips so and so. He kicks some and so's ass." It's like, bro, if you really believe that, then you'd bet the house. You'll bet it all. Nah. Eddie, you don't cook anybody. There's nothing you cooked. I told you. You want to cook me, Eddie? I'll give you an opportunity to cook me. All you got to do is show me a bet slip where you bet a bag. Show me you bet a K, 1K or more. It ain't got to be a lot. 1K that you bet on Jaron Ennis. And I will shut up. I will say, Coach Eddie cooked me. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you hop on. You could host the show and I will answer to you if you could prove me that. But I don't believe you. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't believe you. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you what, if Frank Bay truly believed in something, I'll bet it. And I'll bet a few $100s and I'll show you guys. But I wouldn't get on here and talk about certain things if I didn't prove it. You know what I mean? When I talk boxing, it's literally a sport, right? Some guy wins, some guy loses. If my getting a pick right don't mean anything. Frank Bay, Master Chef. Exactly. You got a flambe. I get cooked every day by Queen Gels and Papi Manteca. There you guys go. The trolls rule. Trolls, they make the YTBC. It wouldn't be a YTBC. The boxing, it wouldn't be boxing if it wasn't for the trolls. Chilaquiles. Exactly. That's the thing with boxing, man. Like, Bam Rodriguez is going to take on Naoya Inoue. And I guarantee you, if it happens, you're going to get both sides. And Naoya Inoue smokes Bam Rodriguez. Bam Rodriguez is going to pull it off. And I don't really believe anybody until you put your money where your mouth is. That's what we do in life, right? Anybody could say anything. Oh, I know a football team is going to win. Oh, I know a baseball team is going to win. Like this basketball. Basketball is big now. But unless you put your money where your mouth is, I don't believe you. You're just talk. That's all it is. Just talk. We're just having fun. But people like to take it to the extreme. Oh, you don't know boxing. You don't know shit if you get a pick wrong or right. Marco Verde is fighting a super middleweight tonight. Oh, okay, is he what's on tonight? Am I going to be able to watch it? Frank can't cook ramen noodles. Eddie. See, that's the difference. I don't claim to cook anybody. See, I don't do that. I'm having a discussion, a conversation. I'm talking to the boxing peoples. The people's listening. I dropped the link. And I want somebody to that's what I'm here for. I want somebody to come cook me. That's what I want. You understand what I'm saying? Usyk is overrated. Is he? Off of one fight? You got a lot of opinions, but you didn't bet on it. See, that's the difference. It's like everybody says it after the fact. Johnny come lately. Everybody says it after the fact. That's the thing with life, right? People always pretend to know. But unless you can show me the bet receipt, unless you can show me you're a winning gambler, then I don't believe you. That's my choice, right? Yeah, I think I'm watching it right now. Marcos Verde is fighting on TV Azteca. No ninjas click the link. Frank Bay by Brutal KO. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's the thing, man. Is what I do it for. When I come on here to talk boxing, is because I want to know if what I think is right or wrong, right? Because people are going to tell you. People are going to tell you, right? They're going to tell you what they think. And I can always look back and I can always say, hey, man, yeah, I was right there. I was wrong there. You know, I like Ben Rodriguez, Noah Inoue. You know, I'm very torn. I'm very torn on this. I think Ben Rodriguez should not take the fight. I don't like the fight for him. He's too small. He needs to acclimate to the weight. The monster is the monster. But I was listening. See, that's the other thing that Frank Bay. I listen to other people. I listen to other YouTube boxing people, you know. I follow different people on X and Twitter. You know, I don't pretend to know it all by myself. And people were talking. They said, you know, this is Bam's opportunity to make the bag. Noah Inoue is gonna throw a bag on him. People are even saying this on Netflix. I mean, it's gonna get crazy. But I don't like the fight for him. Demetrius Andre will destroy Canelo. Bro, that's so 2018. You got to give it up. Eventually, you got to give it up. That's the thing with life, right? We got to be able to move on from these guys like, yeah, Demetrius Andre announced a fight. Whoopee, right? Like, holy shit, my boxing life is complete. Man, that guy, look, man, maybe he was good. He was decent. But shit, nobody cares about that guy anymore. He quit against David Benavidez. He quit. Made the excuse, I'm not really a 168 pounder. Well, weren't you calling out Canelo Alvarez at 168? It is what it is, man. This is boxing. People win and they lose. Canelo ran from Benavidez like a coward. Well, look, man. Canelo's coming back. He's fighting Christian and Billy, and he'll be a champion again. What are you going to say then? He's going to the Hall of Fame. Yeah, no mas. Watch the tape. Demetrius Andre quits. He quits. I'm sorry to tell you, he quit on his stool. No disrespect. Nothing wrong with that. But you got to call it what it is. But nobody cares about that guy, man. That whole Canelo storyline, it's old news, brother. Old news. You're holding on to the past. Get with the times. He's fighting on a low-level club card, and Canelo Alvarez is still headlining big pay-per-views. So who would you rather be? Yeah, Eddie, nobody cares. I'm sorry. That's what boxing. Nobody cares about Andrade. It is what it is. Zerto quit? Zerto? You mean Zerto with a Z? But, you know, that's what we got to do, man. We are all like Eddie. You're saying these things, right? But I can always go back in my chat and I can always look at it and be like, Eddie, you were wrong. You know, Eddie, I predict you will quit. You will quit YouTube if Zayas smokes Drawn Ennis. I don't think you'll be back. I don't think you can handle the embarrassment. See, that's the thing is that I hate saying I'm not a fan. I'm a fan. Like, I'm a fan of Ben Rodriguez. I'm a fan of Inoue. But I'm not a fanboy. You know, I get accused of being a Ryan Garcia fanboy or a Canelo Alvarez fanboy. And it's like, nah, man. I mean, pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to be topical. I'm going to talk about the topics. If Ryan Garcia is the topic, he's the topic. If David Benavidez is the topic, he's the topic, right? I mean, that's what we're supposed to do. You know, Devin Haney is the topic. Shakur Stevenson is the topic, right? I mean, that's just what it is. But I'll never fanboy for anybody. I'll never say that one guy beats everybody and it's no question. You know, I would never get on and say Devin Haney beats everybody without a question. This is boxing talk. This is what we do. We debate. We argue about who's ducking who's gonna beat who. That's what you guys want to hear. More DC. Black Americans have no boxers at middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight. Well, you know what they say. They say they're in the NFL or the NBA. I don't know, man. Boxing is just boxing is a niche sport. It's a niche sport in America. Most kids, I said this before, most kids are going to want to play baseball, basketball, or football. Not a lot of kids are ever going to want to box. Ryan Garcia is a racist. I don't think that's ever been true. Ryan Garcia has like black bodyguards. They're protecting his life. So I don't think he'd be they would be around if he was like racist. You guys throw away the racist thing around way too loosely. G-Eazy, I don't think you're a fanboy. It's more so that you're anti-brother, so it can look like you're fanboying sometimes. Anti-brother, show me where I'm anti-brother. I will be honest to you, though. See, this makes me different, G-Eazy. Makes me different. The whole anti-brother thing is not a race thing. It's obviously that these African-American fighters don't fight each other. And I can show you where African-Americans, blacks, are arguing to other blacks that Shakur don't fight other blacks. It is what it is. They call it brother, right? They don't fight each other. And you can't tell me that they do, because they don't. That's not being anti-brother. That's calling it what it is. So, they call it Mexican boxing. Rock'em sock'em, no skills, flat-footed. It is what it is, right? But I love it. You guys love it. You guys love to see Mexican boxing. What would boxing be without Mexicans? We don't see African Americans fight. We don't see brothers fight. We don't see brothers fight. But I tell you who does fight. Mexican Americans. Mexican boxing. They fight each other. There would be no boxing if they did, Benavidez, Bam. What would you have? You'd have an empty schedule. Haney, Keyshawn, Tank, Foster, last fights were all against other brothers, so that's a lie. No, we're talking about each other. Those top names. How are they all the best in pound for pound and they don't fight each other? Big difference. Hey, look, man, I'm just telling you what I see on social media. They get called out for it. So it's not anti-brother. It's just calling it out, right? When Canelo said he'll never fight a Mexican, people called him out, right? That's what happened. People call shit out. That's not being racist. It's calling it out. It's calling out what you see. Africans pro-Mexican boxing. Look, man, you just want to see the fights. That's what you want to see, right? You want to see Haney, Keyshawn, Tank, Foster fight. You want to see them fight each other. And when they don't fight each other, you call it out. How is that being anti-anything? Look, man, we seen Navarrete. He fights everybody, right? He fights anybody. Bam, they just get to the fights. It is what it is. We do have to use Mexican to build our records. Easy work. See, Eddie? Eddie, that's not true, though. Frank cooking too much. Frank Bay Cookout Show. That's right, man. We tell it like it is. There's no hiding. That's why everybody goes to Mexico to build a record, bunch of scrubs. But you don't know the names, so that's not really true. You don't know the names. You don't remember any of the names. We know who fights the names. That's what we follow boxing for, the names. Casamigos Kyle. Nah, Frank, I don't want to see them fight. I don't want to see them shriek at each other on Twitter. Yeah, and that's all you're gonna get. You gotta call it what it is. Black American boxing is dead at the higher weights anyway. You know what? That's interesting, right? Is it? Benavidez, Opataya, Beterbiev, Bivol. Where is the Black American boxing? I mean, welterweight? Is it even at welterweight? Hey, man, you know what I mean? This is what it is, man. We talk about it. Now, people may cringe. They may say, oh, you're talking about black boxing. You're talking about Mexican-American boxing. Look, man, we're going to have the World Cup, right? And that's all it's going to be. It's race versus race, nationality versus nationality. They're going to be throwing chingazos in the stands, blacks versus whites, England versus Spanish, white people beating the white people. It's going to be a free-for-all. Just fights everywhere in the stands. Navarrete is a bum. See, Eddie, you're showing your bias and your prejudice. That's the better word. See, people say racist. Racism is only good with power. If you don't have power, you're not even racist. You're just a bigot and prejudice. And I feel, see, I'm accused of being prejudiced. Prejudice. Am I prejudiced? Yes. Prejudice has a word, right? A prejudice means it has a connotation. It just means that I choose certain things over other things, right? You could be prejudiced against soda. You really could, right? You could be prejudiced against anything, but it's also in your best interests. People are prejudiced against Mexican boxing. How do I know this? Because they call it rock'em sock'em. Look, Eddie just said it. Eddie, you have a bias and you're prejudiced, and I love it. I love it. See, Eddie, you make this for me. People like Eddie, not Eddie. But I love it. I love you to bring me the smoke so I can prove you to be nothing more than just prejudice. And everybody has bigotries and prejudices. That's just life. We're going to see it at the World Cup. Now, it just gets ugly when you start using racial slurs and you antagonize people, right? That's when it gets to be ugly, and it's not smart. It's just not being smart. If you're racist, it's just not smart. You understand what I'm saying? Shut it. But we're all prejudiced. We're prejudiced against meat. We're prejudiced against vegetarians. You know what I'm saying? We all have that in us. But anyway, back to boxing. I was talking about Benn Rodriguez and Naoya Inoue about fanboyism. And I think that's all it is, man. It's just fanboyism. People go for Tank Davis. They go for Shakir Twitterson. They go for their favorite fighter. And I understand it. Boxing gets too convoluted. Especially with these situations like Haney, Shakur, Keyshawn Davis, they're not going to fight each other. You got Benavidez, Beterbiev, and Bivol, and they're not going to fight each other. And as boxing fans, we just shake our heads like, damn, man. We actually got to fight Zepeda and, Zepeda. No, we got Pitbull. That was the fight, right? Pitbull is going to fight Gary Anton Russell, right? That was announced. And what was the other? Lamont Roach versus Zepeda. Frank the Builder. Damn. Really? I'm Frank the Builder now? See, that I find that disrespectful. I don't go and antagonize people. Wow. Yeah, man, that guy's in a whole lot of trouble. And that's what I'm saying. Racism is just stupid. You'll get canceled. You'll lose friends and family. It's just not smart. You know what I'm saying? But everybody has to admit their prejudices. People are prejudiced. But racism is an entirely different animal. Mr. Chow. Whoa. You guys are going next level with it. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man, Pitbull versus, what do you guys think about that? Pitbull versus Gary Roundtown. It hasn't been announced, but that was talked about. And Zepeda and Roach, since the last time I've been on. Damn, I didn't even, then the Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson to Zuffa. But, that's boxing, though, right? You got an African-American versus a Mexican. You got Zepeda versus Roach. And Pitbull versus Gary Antoine Russell. Hell of a fight, right? Frank Bay antagonizing the brothers with his top-tier boxing takes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Frank Bay doesn't have top-tier boxing takes. I just have me and my boxing takes, and sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm right. Hopefully, I'm more right than wrong. The link is in the chat. See, I always drop the link. It's there floating. Heard about it. Great fight if it gets made. Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems to be a done deal, right? Damn, why do I not save these things? I'm trying to find it for you guys. But yeah, man, it always helps with the visual. But African Americans versus Mexicans is the best in boxing, right? Floyd Mayweather said it. That makes the best fight. So I don't know why, it's good that we have these beefs and these antagonisms. But I do want to see the brothers fight. And I don't understand why we don't get the fights. Eddie says, it's easy. Just fight the Mexicans. Why? Because they're flat-footed Mexicans. So this is what I'm talking about. Brothers go at brothers. Yeah, man, they just go at each other. It's crazy. But we never get the fights. That's all I'm seeing. Breaking news: Shakur and Haney to Zuffa is a done deal. Haney Stevenson next, but Jay Prince went to WBO to get Keyshawn and stayed as Haney's mandatory. So they go at each other. I don't even need to do it, Eddie. I don't even need to do it. You guys do it. Give the brothers credit. Most Mexican legends first lost to G-Eazy. You're mistaking it. But I never said it. It's Eddie, and Eddie was saying it. But I agree. I just gave you credit. I just said the best fights are Mexicans versus blacks, African Americans, whatever you want to say. Pitbull going to get a muzzle put on him, but he fights everybody. See, Pitbull ducks no smoke, but you won't see those two guys fight. Didn't Gary Russell say, "Oh, I don't want to fight my brother. Let him get up there." See, you guys don't want to acknowledge that. Why does Pitbull have to fight everybody? He fights Tank. He fights Roach. He's gonna fight Russell. Mexicans duck no smoke, and y'all don't want to admit that. See, it hurts your feelings if I say that. What? I'm anti-brother, but I'm just saying Pitbull, the little Mexican, and he's little. But you don't want that smoke. I mean, he fights everybody, anybody, right? Stylistically, should be entertaining. 135, 140, and 147 are boring. A lot of Soviet fighters are still undefeated against black fighters. I don't even know about that, but yeah, man. We need these fights. Little Mexican Bam. He don't give a fuck. He's just gonna go fight a Nui. Brandon Figueroa earlier in the year. Another Mexican American. He don't give a fuck. He just goes beats a guy in his backyard. While these guys, they don't fight anybody. Look at the screen. They don't fight anybody. We just call a spade a spade. It is what it is. If you have a different opinion, hit the link. Hit the like, man. Don't be a hater. Mark wrote G-E-Z. That's how you know Frank Bay is not anti-nothing, because I read your quotes, and you know you can't go to other places and they let you talk shit. You know that. Roach is fighting Pitbull and has already fought Tank. So why are you giving Pitbull more credit than Roach for doing the same thing he's doing? Nah. Roach fought Pitbull. He fought Tank, right? But he was coming up. Tank was picking on him. Who is Roach fighting next? He's fighting Zepeda. Well, you just said it yourself. He's fighting another Mexican. That's what Eddie said, because he figures that's an easy lick. I mean, look, man, we say what the real is. It's all good. It's no hate. We just call it like it is. Marquez's first loss was to dude from Quebec. Mexicans turned back the clock on you. Got all y'all running from ass whoopings to this day, Mayorga. Mexicans with no tattoos and white boys with them got them running and hiding. Damn, he's coming in with heat, fleeing the sport hand in hand. Sent them running to the Gestapo. Damn, well, okay. Zuffa. Okay. Yeah, man. Look, man, we just want the fights. Benavidez destroyed Andrade. We're not Ronald Edison, Kyron Davis. Pitbull is getting used, as always, gets robbed for his paycheck. But he fights everybody. See, Eddie, you're trying to disrespect them. And instead of saying, damn, you know what? He's willing to fight everybody and anybody. You know, yeah, he loses, but at least he's fighting the fights. But see, you won't even give him that credit. That's crazy. Why does Pitbull have to be the one? Why don't Russell fight Shakur Stevenson? Why don't he fight Roach? Why don't they give each other the opportunities? That's just what it is, man. That's just what it is. That's boxing today, 2020, 2026. You know what I'm saying? But, it's not just him. They did, everybody fights. Everybody is ducking some kind of smoke, right? Every fighter is ducking some kind of smoke. I mean, they said Nui ducked. That's what they said. They said Nui ducked some Chocolatito. They said he ducked Casamallero. Everybody at one time has been accused of ducking. That's just the reality of boxing, Caleb Plant and Joe Smith Jr. were the last American champions at 168 and 175. Damn, that's crazy. How long ago was that? William got smoked by Shakur. He didn't get beat up. I mean, he got outslapped. I mean, William fought to the very end, but he didn't get smoked. He didn't get his ass whooped. It's crazy that you think that. Got to be careful with that. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's some eye candy. She's been everywhere on my feed. Damn. And both are white boys. Yeah, white boy summer. Brother's not about that anymore. Can get it. Undefeated record, more important. Duck juice. I get it, man. If they lose their O, then they're nothing. It is what it is, man. The undefeated, the undefeated means everything. It's just, look, man, why can't we just get the fights? We just need the fights. We get Roach Zepeda, we get Pitbull, Gary Anton Russell, but why can't we get these other fights? AJ's coming back against a nobody. It's crazy. Oh, here it is. William Zepeda versus Lamont Roach, August 1st. What do you guys think about that fight? Is it a good fight? Great fight? I think it's a good fight. It's a decent fight. It should be action-packed. Who you guys picking? A lot of people are picking William Zepeda. They're saying that Roach, Roach, he's had the last 2 draws. I thought Pitbull beat him. But a lot of people are picking Zepeda. I was surprised. I was very surprised on that. Here's the upcoming schedule. Mason Cordina, I believe that's July 4th. So here it is. Vargas, is anybody excited for Benn Rodriguez and Antonio Vargas? Are you guys excited for that? I mean, I think it's a decent fight. Antonio Vargas, he looks decent, but Bam should really just kick his ass, right? Zepeda because of sheer volume. Is that... Yeah, Lamont Roach falls into the trap of not being very active, right? He kind of, like the Tank Davis fight. People say that Tank Davis beat him. But what they're really counting is that knockdown, right? They're saying he lost. I mean, Lamont Roach won because Tank took a knee. But at the same time, it's kind of like, he didn't do enough. If you really watch that fight, Lamont Roach had a lot of rounds where he really didn't do a lot. Tank Davis, he's always had that style, kind of sit, wait, set traps, and he goes for the knockout. Lamont Roach, he did good, but he didn't go for it. Against Pitbull, I think he lost to Pitbull. I think Pitbull just outworked him. William Zepeda also got dropped multiple times against Journeyman. That's the other thing. But Lamont Roach falls into a trap, kind of like what we see Raymond Ford, right? He just gets inactive. He just doesn't want to let his hands go. He wants to be a counter puncher, sharpshooter. He's more like sharpshooting, right? He'll sit there kind of in the pocket and he's just waiting. He's one of those guys that'll just wait forever. Look, man, against Tank Davis, had he put more pressure on and let his hands go and went for it, then he wins convincingly. But when you're the B-side like that, you can't expect to just win because you outboxed him. That's just not how boxing works. Look, man, I don't know why we pretend that we don't know how boxing works. Hit the like, hit the link. Hit the like. We always forget that. Easy money on Roach. Well, Eddie, I mean, look, you got to show that you put your money where your mouth is. You say that, but I don't see no money. I don't see no bet slips, man. Come on. I don't see it, man. The proof is in the pudding. Interesting fight. Mason versus Cordina. Mason should win that pretty easily. He should handle Joe Cordina, who's coming up in weight. Did the big fight. The only big fight we really have, Zayas versus Boots Ennis. A lot of people are excited for that. The undercard is a little underwhelming. Not really a great undercard, right? Not something to write home about. Eric Gomez, brothers taking a standing 8 count. Can't take the Frank Bay cooking. Look, man, I dropped the link. I say, come on, tell me I don't know shit. But, it is what it is. That's what we're here for, man. Vargas versus Bam. Nobody's talking about it, man. You guys aren't excited for Benn Rodriguez? You know, the last time he fought was what, November, when he took out Puma Martinez. He's stepping up in weight. Not a lot of hype though, man. Nobody, you know, the reality is nobody knows who Antonio Vargas is. I got Tim Tszyu stopping Spence. That's the other big fight. Tim Tszyu, big Tim Tszyu in Australia. Earl Spence, is he washed? Probably, yeah. Most likely Earl Spence is washed. I'm sorry. He looked washed. He took ass beating. It's been 3 years. You know, Tim Tszyu's not that much better, right? There was a time when Tim Tszyu was maybe pound for gonna be undisputed, had an undisputed title shot. Bam, pound for pound #1. Tim is a bum. See, is because he's white, Eddie. Eddie definitely has a prejudice and a bias, and I appreciate it. I really do. I don't knock anybody for their prejudice and bias. Just be honest. That's all. Is he more BC? Tim Tszyu is undefeated against the brothers. Damn, that's crazy to think he is. Yeah, because he got smacked versus Sebastian Vendora and Mortazaliev, a Mexican and a Eastern European. But Bam Rodriguez should walk through Antonio Vargas. He's kind of a basic fighter. Bam is, you know, pound for pound. But it'll be interesting to see if Bam struggles. If he struggles, will that kill the Noe Inoue fight? Drunk Adrian Broner beat Tim? What? What are you talking about? Bam Rodriguez has said that he's going to call out Naoya Inoue, right? He's going to call out Naoya Inoue. That'll be interesting if he's going to. It looks like he's going to. But he needs to win convincingly because anything, you know, Naoya Inoue struggled his last fight. That's what makes this Bam call out of Naoya Inoue interesting is because, you know, if Naoya Inoue had destroyed another pound-for-pound fighter, because Nakatani was a pound-for-pound fighter, a guy with strength and size. He struggled. I thought he was losing. You know, if it wasn't for the headbutt, I don't know. Maybe Naoya Inoue loses. Eddie was probably mad when Tim Tszyu knocked out Tony Harrison. Yeah, Tony Harrison got his ass kicked. Eddie didn't like that. You know, when you lose to a white boy, that's like the ultimate disrespect. You know, didn't Haney say, I'll never lose to a white boy? Bernard Hopkins said, I'll never lose to a white boy. Why gotta be a white boy, though? Why white boys get disrespected like that? Always with the white boy disrespect. Never lose to a white boy. Tim made Harrison drink Foster's beer before the fight. Oh, that's cope, Eddie. That's cope. He lost to a white boy. He got his hood card revoked. You know, if you lose to a white boy, your hood card is revoked. Apparently, allegedly, right? Could you imagine if Jaron Ennis loses to Xander Zayas? Xander Zayas is like a white boy, right? I mean, he's got the frosted tip. He's a pretty boy. Jaron Ennis can never go back to Philly losing to Xander Zayas. Like, it is everything for Jaron Ennis. Could you imagine that? Imagine this white boy Cordina smoking Abdullah Mason. Man, he could never go home. Never go back to the hood. You know, at least in this matchup, Zepeda versus Roach, I mean, at least, you know, you lose to a Mexican, it's understood. I mean, it happens, right? But losing to a white boy, nah, that can't happen. Holy shit. Never. Damn. Mason going to cook Cordina. Look, man, I'll pick, he should. Frank Bay, the hood card issuer. I know, right? Like, it just got to be said. Like, Eddie's bashing Tim because he's white. There's no other reason. You mentioned that he cooked the brother, and oh well, you know, it really, you know, it just you just glaze over. It didn't really happen. But I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, you can't lose to a white boy. I don't know what it is. I think it's a little, you know, 1970-ish, 1960-ish. You know, in 2026, the white boys dominate. You know, Usyk is a white boy. He dominates heavyweight boxing. But I don't know. In the lower weight classes, I guess it's expected. Bernard Hopkins lost to 3 white boys. Damn, did he? Oh yeah, Calzaghe. The white boy came and whooped that ass. Was he never able to go to Philly after that? Nah, no, we got to stop that. Come on, we got to stop that, man. White boys are just as good. And it's not even being white boy. It's like, the Eastern Europeans. Joe Calzaghe is also undefeated against black fighters. Yeah, man, see, that's the thing, man. That's the thing. The reason it started, it's not even a disrespect to black fighters. It's just a disrespect. It started because they were called UK bums, right? Oh, they ain't nothing but UK bums. That's what they dissed Canelo Alvarez. All he be was UK bums. Right? So it's really started at disrespect to the UK guys. They were always considered, because they're white, right? We just let's keep it 1,000. But now, they come kicking ass. The heavyweight champion, Calzaghe. They come kick the Americans' ass, and specifically the brother, they kick his ass. But Devin Haney said it. I'll never lose to a white boy. And Lomachenko, was he really a white boy? I don't think he was a white boy like Alabama white boy, like American white boy. It's 2026, man. Boxing is a global sport. Naoya Inoue, a Japanese, is kicking everybody's ass. Brother, kicking Mexicans' ass. Salute Abel. Thank you. Hit the like. Right? So instead of white boys, should brothers and Mexicans say I'll never lose to a Jap? I think that's what they should start saying. Because that's lower than white boy now, right? Like a Japanese dude. Like, come on, man. You should never lose to a Japanese dude. If you're Mexican or you're black and you lose to a Japanese dude, your card is revoked. Your hood card, your hood pass is revoked. I'm sorry. Hit the link. If you want to hop on, we're talking about Benn Rodriguez, his fight next week. Maybe possibly Naoya Inoue, Xander Zayas, Jaron Ennis. Could Jaron Ennis get his hood card revoked? Abazaba Mason versus Joe Cordina. Could he get his hood card revoked? Getting smoked by a white boy, Joe Cordina. We got Roach Zepeda. We got a black versus a Mexican. We got the announcement Pitbull, Gary Russell, a black versus a Mexican. See, the Mexicans are always expected to provide the fight. You noticed that? Have you noticed that? We were talking about that earlier. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Canelo Alvarez is fighting a brother. Well, he's by Kamaru, right? Christian and Billy, by way of Canada. In a street fight, a white boy will stomp you out. Damn, technique came with the white boy heat. Nah, man, see, that's what I'm saying, man. It's disrespect to white boys. It's disrespect. And I'm telling you where it started. It started with the whole UK bum thing. White boys, I said this before, white boys used to dominate back when boxing started. Rocky Marciano. It was actually Jewish. The Jewish fighters were like the top of the guys, right? And then in the 60s with Ali and then Sugar Ray Leonard, then the brothers dominated, right? Can more brothers say no to Chilaquila's no life? See, I didn't, and to be honest, man, I don't want Frank Bay to get this scarlet letter or this tag on me like I'm hyping this up. I'm not hyping it. I read the chat and I comment. That's what I do. And I'm going to comment. I'm going to say it. It's funny that Americans are always calling the cruiserweight division weak. Yeah, most white boys go for MMA now. That is true. Devin Haney had Lomachenko crying in the locker room. Well, we know Loma got robbed. Come on, Eddie. Eddie, you're so prejudiced and biased. You won't acknowledge that Loma kicked his ass. Canelo is a hype job. Eddie, look, man. Every light-skinned person you're going to hate. It's obvious. You just hate anybody that is light-skinned. Technique says it. He says, Coach Eddie, Loma schooled Devin. It happened. Loma kicked his ass. Haney was talking about, he figured me out to his dad. But hey, he got the win. That's what's in the records. But let's be honest. Loma kicked his ass. And Devin Haney outweighed him by like 30 pounds. Loma's a small guy. Loma's coming back. We were talking about it. Lomachenko coming back. Salute Lomachenko. Loma don't duck no smoke. That's one badass white boy. Loma, they called him white chocolate. I remember Bob Arum said an old ass Pacquiao was too much for Crawford. Yeah, that was a fight they were talking about. Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, I believe was locked in for September 25th. The fight, they're saying, you know what? It's crazy. They're saying that it's gonna happen, but they're not sure. They're still not sure about it. Technique. They tried to make out the fight was close. Canelo versus Bud was way closer. Ah, man, I've argued about this so many times. I think Canelo Crawford was close. Biased boxing or low IQ. Look, man, it's normal. The biased boxing, being tribal is normal. It's normal. I understand it. You know, I really didn't understand, but when I start speaking boxing, being on Twitter, being on YouTube, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand there was like, you know, the whole tribalism. It was the blacks have their own channels. They have their own Twitter. You know, Mexicans, Latinos, they have their own channels and their own Twitter. Really not that represented. And the white boys, you know, they really are more UFC. But I really never found a whole lot of white boy YouTube channels. Has anybody found, is there like, somebody tell me what a white boy YouTube channel is for boxing? Canelo will lose to Mbili. Bet the house, Eddie. Bet the house. That's all you got to do. Mexico won't even get close to that stage. Are you guys talking about World Cup now? It's funny that Bob Arum never sent an offer to Pacquiao for Crawford when he was WBA welterweight champion. Yeah, that was a long time ago, man. I'd have to go dig in the files and see what really happened. But, you know, thinking about Crawford at 168, he would have fought Manny Pacquiao. Damn, I mean, he'd have been a big-ass giant to Manny Pacquiao. They wouldn't let the black fighters compete for the heavyweight championship. Well, okay. You know, if that's what you're saying, maybe that's true. I mean, that probably was true, right? But what about 2026? A white boy dominates. It just is what it is, man. You got to just give credit where credit is due. You won't even give Usyk his credit, Eddie. You want to say he's overrated. And it's your prejudice. Algeri and the CompuBox guy, 2 white guys in boxing. Yeah, but is there any like big boxing channels that are like pro-white? I guess you can't even say that, right? You can't be pro-white. It sounds too racially biased. That's because we don't consider you equal. Damn, where'd that come from? Well, who are you talking to? Manny Pacquiao was too dangerous for Crawford. Yeah, man. I mean, Crawford hadn't found Victor Conte yet, right? Sanj Zittel, another white guy. But does he hype white fighters? You know, because black channels, they hype, you know, Tank. They hype black fighters. Pro Latino Mexican channels, there's like Tiafimo channels, there's pro Mexican channels, and they hype Mexican boxing, they hype Latino fighters. But I haven't found a white channel that hypes like white fighters. Maybe Tyson Fury at his height. There was some pro European channels maybe that hype Tyson Fury. Kane Mack, I'm from Australia, and there's a great channel called Boxing Deep Dive. It's not a white boy channel, but it's great. So he hypes white fighters. Tyson Fury is a cheater. See, Eddie, anything like complexion, Eddie is just bias and prejudice. Eric Gomez says no pro-white boxing channels. They're lame talking about the fighter nonstop. Yeah, that's one thing I'll never do. It's funny that everybody loved Jack Johnson during those times. Yeah, see, that's something I'll never do. I mean, look, you can accuse me of being pro-Latino, pro-Mexican, pro-Canelo, pro-Ryan. But if you actually look at the videos, channels, lives that I do, I don't ever hype one fighter. Now, it may look like I shit on fighters, but it's with good reason. If I shit on Shakur Stevenson, it's not because he's a brother. It's because he's not going to fight his brother. If I shit on Stank Davis, it's for a reason. He slaps women, drags them through clubs. Yeah, he feels inferior to us, Frank, because they are salty and broke. Whoa. No, it's no pro-white, it's pro-boxing. No, I get that. But what I'm showing is relativity, right? If African Americans and blacks and are pro-American, pro-black fighters, right? Like that's who they cover. They cover Devin Haney. There's channels dedicated to Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis. There just is. You can look around. There's channels. There was dedicated to Mexican boxing, Latino boxing, Tiafimo, Canelo Alvarez. It just is. Or Puerto Rican boxing, right? There just is. It just is. But what I have not come across is white boxing. Or anybody that specifically focuses on that. I'm pro boxing. It is what it is, Nick Diaz. Yeah. But one thing, that I didn't want to fall in trap is hyping any one fighter, any one promotion company. My bad. I know what you mean, man. Yeah. It would be stigmatized, right? If you're like a white guy and you're like, I'm pro white boxing, right? Vito Melnicki, Tyson Fury, Usyk. It might not go over well, right? You can get away with it being pro-black. You can get away with it being pro-Mexican, pro-Latino. You can get away with it. Nobody's going to say anything. But being pro-white, it just is what it is. Don't hype Xander. He's set up a failure. I understand that. I'm not hyping Xander. I just think he has a chance. I guess saying he has a chance means he's hyping him up. Usyk lost to a kickboxer. Well, he didn't lose, Eddie. You were praying he did, but he didn't. I think we're getting too much on the racial stereotypes and narratives. But Tali Klitschko was a kickboxer. But again, I read the chat. I'm talking to you guys. The link is hit the like, hit the link. But it's just important, right? I think it started with, I was talking about William Zepeda, Pitbull. Like Pitbull fight everybody, right? Zepeda, he's asked to fight everybody. Lopez is the bum. Again, Eddie, is there anybody that is light skinned that you actually think is decent? Snooker stuff? That's interesting. Well, if we look at resumes only, Xander is more ready to face someone like Boots than Boots is to fight Xander. Okay, you're objective. I agree with that. Boots is taking a bigger jump in comp. At 35 fights, right? He's got 35 fights in, 30 knockouts against absolute cans. I mean, if you take out Stanionis, who was an email champion, who the fuck has this guy fought? Now, people are just going by the eye test, right? They're going by the eye test. And I'm responding to snooker stuff, right? They're going on Jaron Ennis as strictly the eye test. And yeah, he looks the goods. He looks the part. He's got 30 knockouts. Coach Eddie represents the bottom of the food chain. Look, Eddie is unabashedly prejudiced, and I respect that. See, people throw around racist. He's not racist. Eddie is not racist. You got to have power to be racist. He's prejudiced. And we all are. Brothers working overtime for the hood car staying on code. Yeah. I respect it. Because he's staying true to what he does and is, right? I respect that. He doesn't flip-flop. He doesn't pretend. A lot of people will pretend, oh, yeah, I like Latin fighters, Mexican fighters, but when it comes down to it, they're going to choose the brother every time. And vice versa, right? Vice versa. Mexican, if you like Mexican boxing, Latino boxing, you're just going to go with that. It's fine. I just like to talk about it. Kane Mack. Boxing shouldn't be about race, but it's very tribal sort of sport. So I think it just comes with territory. Yeah. No, I mean, bro. This starts with like Haney, Keyshawn, Tank Davis, all these guys not fighting each other. That's where it starts, you know. But Canelo Alvarez, he has to fight everybody, right? Canelo fights Crawford. You know, he fights the UK bums. He fights the brothers. He's coming back against a brother. You know, he's giving a brother a chance. He might fight Hamza Sharaj. You know, Canelo's expected to fight everybody. You know, the Mexican is expected to fight everybody. Pitbull, Zepeda. You know, there's no ducking if, you know, you're not a certain fighter. You know what I'm saying? Haney, Shakur, they can get away with it. And it is what it is. Nobody calls them out. Mainstream media doesn't call them out for ducking each other, for not facing other slick black fighters. You know, Eddie said it himself. He said, oh, they just want to fight the flat-footed Mexican. They only want to fight Latinos where there's not much money fighting against each other. Well, I mean, look, man, it's boxing. It's supposed to be a sport. We should be seeing Keyshawn Davis versus Devin Haney. We should be seeing that. I 100%. It has nothing to do with race or prejudice or black. It's just those are the top guys. Devin Haney versus Keyshawn Davis should happen. We need to see that fight. I agree. There's a lot of ducks in the U.S. these days. Not one duck in Mexico. Well, you got to understand, foreign fighters, they have to go the hard way, right? They're not protected. They have to fight everybody to get their shot. I agree. Just point out the mindset. Yeah. I mean, that's what we do, man. Canelo for African brothers. Billy can get it next. Yeah, I mean, look, Canelo. Say what you want about Canelo Alvarez, but he fought everybody. Okay, look, you want to talk about David Benavidez? That's fine. But if you look at who he fought in styles, Lara, Danny Jacobs, Canelo fought everybody. He fought European guys. He fought African American guys. He fought Mexicans. He fought Puerto Ricans. Cotto, Berlanga. Canelo fought everybody. Oscar De La Hoya fought everybody. Puerto Ricans, blacks, Mexicans. He fought everybody. UK guys. I know we're just in a weird place in boxing where these things have been highlighted. It wasn't long ago that everybody was expected to fight everybody. There wasn't a lot of these Twitter wars. I mean, Twitter wars is pretty much new, right? Mexican boxing says we already know it's nothing new. Hit the like, hit the link. Brothers know Mexicans are the real payday. Usyk all fought everybody. Oscar, the best Mexican boxer. Yeah, look at Ryan Garcia. He fights Mexicans. Oscar Durote. He fights UK guys. He fought, Luke Campbell. He fights brothers, Tank Davis, Devin Haney. Now he's going to fight another UK who's a brother. Ryan Garcia is expected to fight everybody, but Haney, Shakur, they get the pass. Oscar, the best Mexican on paper. Look, man, the best is relative. The best is who you think the best is, but it's all about who you fight. You have to fight every style. You fight a come forward Mexican. You fight a back foot guy, a slick African American boxer. You fight a UK guy like Madrimov, on the pendulum. You know what I'm saying? David Benavidez. David Benavidez is asked to fight everybody, right? He's not getting a pass for ducking. Jai can't even get a fight. And old mate Benavidez is avoiding him like the plague. Hey, man. But see, Benavidez is not getting a pass either. People are cooking them. Ryan gonna iron out Connor. It's an interesting fight, man. A lot of people say that Ryan is a bum and Connor is a bum. A lot of people don't think they're skilled fighters. People don't give Ryan credit for beating Mario Barrios. That was Mexican on Mexican crime, right? But Ryan's fighting everybody, man. There's no colorism. There's no prejudice. He's a face of boxing, and he's asked to fight the biggest names. They all call him out. He don't duck no smoke. He didn't duck Tank. He didn't duck Haney. But those guys duck each other. That's what we do, man. We call it out. Shakur duck Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn. Yeah, I mean, why isn't Shakur fighting Ryan Garcia? That's the fight I wanted to see. But he has every excuse in the book. Devin Haney is saying he's willing to fight him. But now Shakur's team is throwing a monkey wrench saying Keyshawn needs to fight him. If you want to be the man, you have to fight the man. We can all see what he is doing. And he's getting cooked, man. He's getting cooked on social media. I don't think he's getting a pass, but it just seems like the media doesn't call it out. That's the problem. Is the journalists, Dan Rafael, Canobio, Mike Coppinger, Ring Magazine, Boxing Scene, all the places that I'm sure that you guys are familiar with, maybe YouTube, right? Nobody's calling him out. As far as mainstream media goes. Now, Frank Bay calling him out is not going to make a difference. People on YouTube talking is not going to make a difference. But, This is what we need to do, man. And then we won't get the fight. You know, people are talking about O'Shaquie Foster and Shakur Stevenson. I don't want to see that fight. Do you guys want to see that fight? That is like a terrible fight. I mean, O'Shaquie Foster is pillow fisted. Shakur doesn't have the size reach advantage against Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Well, that makes sense why he won't fight him. SNK snooker stuff. Shakur moves very, very dirty as a fighter. I truly believe he sabotaged Kid Austin to not fight. Jay Prince is a dirty man that's always played dirty games. You know what? I wouldn't put it past. I mean, Floyd Schofield, he dropped the I guess he showed a drug test that he proves he was drugged with MDM, what I believe is Molly. People say that was suspicious. People think Floyd Schofield faked it. But who knows, man? I mean, it's possible. It's possible Shakur Stevenson was up to shenanigans. And now he's saying he'll never fight Floyd Schofield. But O'Shaquie Foster versus Shakur Stevenson is not a fight I would ever want to see. I mean, we're talking about the biggest pillow fight that you could make. I mean, I don't even know why people are talking about it. I don't see it as a skilled fight. People go, oh, it's skills. Oh, they're going to be skilled. Nah, man, I don't want to see that shit. It's two pillow fist guys. The biggest pillow fist fight in boxing would be O'Shaquie Foster and Shakur Stevenson. Just a truly disgusting, despicable fight. I mean, there would be like love taps, right? Jay Prince paid the WBO to make Keyshawn the mandatory for Haney. There it is. And they're not going to fight. But then Devin Haney says some bitch shit. Him and his dad saying, I only will fight them if Shakur Stevenson is in the contract. Floyd Snooker Stuff says Floyd trains in Texas, same city as Jay Prince. He was having people break into his house and his gym. It's not hard. This man has the means to do this. Hey, man, is it possible? It sounds possible. I mean, I heard those rumors. But seeing what happened in Saudi, I mean, it's some shady shit. It's some really shady shit going on, isn't it? And all what? All what? So they don't have to fight each other. That's what it amounts to. Also, they don't have to fight each other. K Max says, I want to say congratulations to Andrew Maloney for winning the world title in Japan after a brutal KO from Nakatani 3 years ago. Yeah, man, that guy gets all the shots in the world, right? Wasn't he, and Benn will have to see him to get undisputed. Shout out Maloney, right? But what's crazy is that these guys, Haney, Shakur, you can see Bill Haney running jive talk, and it's all that they don't fight each other. Bernie exposed how the real Devin Haney lowballed Shakur Stevenson with a 25% offer. That's all. See, as you can see, that's all I've seen, man. All these guys, and they're never gonna fight each other. Never gonna fight each other. But Pitbull, Ryan Garcia, Conor Benn, they all gotta fight each other, man. While these guys get a pass, Canelo has to fight everybody. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy. Frank Bay exposing the brother protection plan. It wasn't even me who exposed it. Other YouTubers, people on X have exposed it. I'm just commenting on it. I'm just telling you what I see. No, man, Maloney held up the division for Bam. I think Bam said he's not coming back down after Vargas. Well, I know Bam his first priority, what he wanted to do was fight for Undisputed. But because Maloney wouldn't take step aside money, yeah, he was offered $250 to step aside and refused. Which is smart, right? Which is smart. Because if the Bam and Nui fight doesn't happen, Maloney's in play. Bam might want to do Undisputed. So it's kind of smart, Hit the like, hit the link. But that's boxing, man. That's boxing, man. This is the politics. Maloney made a smart move. But without Bam Rodriguez, I really don't know what kind of money fight he could get. And Nui and Bam, that looks like the likely fight, but it's possible that it doesn't happen. So I'm looking forward to it. No brother protection plan, no life. eventually these fights got to happen, right? Eventually these fights got to happen. They're saying Haney and Shakur are signing with Zuffa. Eventually, don't you think these fights got to happen? I mean, eventually the people are going to catch on. I mean, I'm just a small YouTube channel, right? It's just Frank Bay. You guys are listening. You guys love boxing. You guys know what I'm talking about. But, you'd be surprised. The majority of people, the majority of fans, if you go on X, you go on YouTube, you look around, the majority of fans, they really don't look at it like this. They just think that, oh, these guys, they're negotiating and they're just A side, B side. And, well, they'll eventually fight, right? Like most people think when they watch YouTube, when they watch boxing, they want to talk boxing, they listen to boxing. They really think and believe these fights are going to happen. That's the crazy thing. Is people kind of think that it's going to happen. And it's always like, man, this has been going on for 3 or 4 years. This has to be about 3 or 4 years that these guys, Shakur Stevenson, Bill Haney, Devin Haney, they were going at it like 2 or 3 years ago. And nothing ever happened. And people still, Tank Davis, he's been MIA. What's ever going to happen with that guy? He was going to fight Loma. Loma retired. Loma's coming back. Shakur is being protected by Jay Prince. Yeah, man, but nobody's waking up. We are. We talk about it. But, eventually, man, how much can you really talk about it? I'm talking about it, but it's not going to happen. We just got to look forward to the fights that we get. And my whole thing about it is that I don't rate Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and Tank Davis. I just don't rate them pound for pound. A side, B side is code for brother protection plan. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, but see, me talking about it, I sound like a hater because that's what I was accused of earlier, right? Oh, you don't like brother boxing, this, that, and the third. But it's like, bro, we want to see the fights. But we're talking about it because that's what's in the news. That's what the headline is. Okay, you know what? Jaron Ennis was ducking a lot of smoke. But he's finally fighting Xander Zayas. And it looks like an easy lick, right? So I at least got to give him some credit for that. Lamont Roach is fighting Zepeda, so he gets a little bit of credit. I saw a couple black dudes are against the brother talk. You mean them fighting each other? But the crazy thing is what I noticed, Frank Bay noticed, is these guys, they'll literally argue for hours. They will argue, the Haneys, the Tanks, Shakurs, they will argue for hours about who's to blame. That's what blows my mind. Like, I'm talking boxing, right? I'm about like 90 minutes in. And I'm talking about everything, right? Benavidez, Zayas Boots, Bam Vargas, Inui, Rhodes Zepeda. These guys will literally argue for 3 to 4 hours about who's ducking who. I had an argument with a YouTuber about Norman and Ennis. Who's ducking who? And people could not wrap their minds around that I said it was both. I did a live. I did a short. I said that they're both ducking. And people constantly believe that, no, one side is ducking. No. Tank is ducking Shakur. Shakur is ducking Tank. These people really believe that one of their guys is ducking or the other guy is ducking, right? And Frank Bay will come on. I'll be like, bro, they're ducking each other. They have a pack. They don't want to fight each other. They're both ducking. And I can point and I can say, look, you look at Zepeda, he's just going to fight anybody. Ryan is just going to fight anybody. Pitbull is just going to fight anybody. Cordina, Zayas, he don't duck no smoke. Bam Rodriguez, he's going to go fight Inui. There's one common denominator about who ducks who. There's one common denominator. Usyk, he fights anybody. Right? The white boy ducks no smoke. The Mexican ducks no smoke. There's one common denominator about who ducks and who don't fight each other. It's pretty obvious to me at this point. But people will argue. Go on X. Go on Twitter. They go back and forth. And I've jumped in these conversations. And they swear. You can't tell them that both guys are not ducking. They say, oh, you a bitch. Oh, you're going for Tank Davis. They swear if you say that Shakur is ducking Tank Davis, they say you're a Tank Davis fanboy. If you say Tank Davis is ducking Shakur, you're a Shakur fanboy. I'm like, no, bro. They're both ducking each other. Look at Rai. King Ryan Garcia, right? This guy's going to fire everybody. These brothers are terrified of each other these days. I can't believe it. I can believe it. It's about the O, man. You know, Floyd Mayweather created this situation, right? He called it the green print. He said it was robbing the bank, fighting the flat-footed Mexican, you know, fighting Manny Pacquiao, fighting Ricky Hatton, you know. He called it the green print. He said he was robbing the bank, fighting MMA fighters. But it was, you know, he created this mythos about the O. You know, Inouye and Benn, they got the O. Zayas and Boots got the O. But boxing is built on these type of fights. Roach Zepeda. You know, Zepeda's got a loss. Roach has a draw. I think Roach has a loss, right? Can Frank Bay make a brother belt for the brother champ? Well, they'd have to fight each other for that, right? See, and again, it's making it a situation where I'll be accused of certain things. But I'm going on what we're seeing, man. I'm going on what people are saying. It's not Frank Bay saying it. It's what people are saying, man. They're saying it on social media. This brother, he's going at Tank Davis. Right? It happens. It happens, man. It's just in the news and notes, man. It's just, so this guy made this is what I'm talking about. So don't read this. I'll be right back. Read this real quick. I'll be right back. Hold on. Hit the like, hit the link if you want to hop on. Salute Solo Dolo. So do you see this? Do you guys see this craziness? This guy made one of those like FBI files that show the outline. So this guy, he's like a tank maniac, right? He says, follow this. Shakur Stevenson, biggest duck in boxing. Everything you put on the internet is forever, and I'm gonna keep applying pressure until you stop running from Tank Davis. So he makes this like Shakur Stevenson ducking Gervonta timeline. This is insane. And he has the tweets. This is crazy. He says, free agent 2024. Shakur declines the offer, then claims he never heard nothing back. Loma retires. PBC reaches out to Shakur to replace Loma. So this guy really believes that Tank Davis was going to fight Shakur Stevenson. These are what these guys, this is who they are. They believe that Tank can do no wrong. Booty loose. Canalitas are now pushing for McGinn to be the new face of boxing. Booty loose. You need a new shtick. It's getting old, brother. So, I mean, these guys will go to every length you can imagine, man. So here they are, another guy, too small for 147, he says. And Shakur is like bigger than everybody. That's what I'm saying. This is not me. This is not me. And it even happens to Latino fighters, Mexican fighters. David's getting it, right? This is, I believe, Samson Likowitz or his like a promotional account. He says, I'm done arguing that a kid who turned pro as a child and fought in Mexico until he was legally allowed went on to become the youngest super middleweight champion in history and is now 3-weight world champion, isn't afraid to fight anyone. That's casual talk. Have fun. Samson Boxing, Nathan Lukowitz, Benavidez, Emily. That's so original, Booty Loose. Booty loose. Come on, man. You gotta get something new. So Artur Beterbiev was talking shit. Beterbiev has come out to make sure everyone in the whole world knows that Benavidez and his camp want no part of him at all. Damn. So, everybody gets it, but Benavidez camp refutes Beterbiev talk a dodgy mega fight. So this is boxing 2026, man. This is it. Artur Beterbiev is the GOAT. Okay, so I don't even like that fight anymore. All I want to see is Benavidez, Benavidez versus Dimitri Bivol. I think the biggest fight is Dimitri Bivol, but what is that guy doing? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys, man. I don't know what to tell you guys about Benavidez. But it sure triggers you. How? It means nothing to me, booty loose. It means nothing to me. Nothing at all. I love it. I'm laughing about it, man. I would never get my feathers ruffled over anything you say. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So Shakur fans are running with the narrative that Devin Bill wanted Keyshawn, then Shakur is a way to duck. So these guys are just gonna go back and forth, man. But Ryan Garcia, Connor Benn, they're saying that's gonna be announced. Ryan ducking no smoke. Shakur Stevens and Devin Haney signed to Zuffa. What do you guys think about it, man? Is that a good fight? Ryan Garcia, Connor Benn. It's good. It's good, man. Is that something you guys would pay pay-per-view for? They're yapping back and forth on Twitter. You guys didn't say, is David Benavidez a duck? Is he ducking? What is he gonna do, man? That's what I'm wondering. 100% duck? Damn, David. You know what's crazy? I mentioned this to somebody, right? Why are you so obsessed with BDA? You're obsessed with BDA. Go to his channel and bother him. Hit the like. Don't be a hater. Yes. So Steve Kim says things have come full circle for David Benavidez, who is getting the Canelo treatment. There it is, man. There it is. David Benavidez, man. The crazy thing, I said this to somebody. I said, what's crazy is when Benavidez was talking shit to Canelo, I guess, he was saying they made offers to Canelo. Canelo ducked the most money he ever made. Kane Max says Benavidez called out Beterbiev just to divert the attention on him. No way he fights Beterbiev. That's what he's saying, man. It depends on. See, it depends who you believe. Do you believe Benavidez? Do you believe Artur Beterbiev? It's all about belief, man. A lot of times it's just who you believe. I don't necessarily think David Benavidez is a duck. I really don't. But again, they've said David Benavidez says some questionable shit. See, I don't understand why we can't look at both sides. Is David Benavidez afraid? No. But did he say some questionable shit? Absolutely. But here's the thing about David Benavidez. Everybody believed David Benavidez, right? Everybody believed David Benavidez when he was talking shit about Canelo Alvarez. Said they offered him big money, the most money ever made. Canelo turned it down. Everybody believed that, right? Isn't that what happened? Everybody believed David Benavidez. But now David Benavidez is getting called out by Artur Beterbiev, by Ja Abataya. Everybody slamming on Benavidez. And now nobody believes him. That's crazy, right? All of a sudden, David Benavidez was telling the truth when he was offering Canelo Alvarez a fight. Canelo said, "Who are you to offer me?" Right? You guys remember that? Canelo said $250 million. And everybody believed David Benavidez. Eric Gomez, Benavidez and Team Benavidez, Pinocchio knows. Yeah. But now nobody believes Benavidez. That's the crazy part, right? Now nobody believes Benavidez. That's the crazy thing for me. Beterbiev and Benavidez both duck Canelo's Daddy Bivol. Well, you know, Booty Luge, you don't seem to be too sure on any of it. Who you going for? Bivol? The guy just fought and nobody cared. You weren't on here talking about Dimitri Bivol. Nobody was talking about Dimitri Bivol. Y'all need to stop cap. Nobody cared about Dimitri Bivol's last fight. It is what it is. Paulie Malignaggi has announced that ProBox TV will now be going behind a $5 a month paywall. So, in bad news, you know, it's not looking good for ProBox. Are you guys going to pay $5 for ProBox? I don't know. I don't think anybody is. I heard Canelo got paid over $400 million for going easy on Crawford. Damn, that's crazy, man. I love watching Benavidez fight, but he is not behaving like a real champion. Kane Mack. You know, that's the thing, right? Okay, so Steve Kim says, make no doubt about it, Alvarez skirted Benavidez, so he believes that Alvarez ducked Benavidez. But now David Benavidez seems to be doing a similar thing to Joe Apataya. Ironically, he has become a bit like Canelo now. It's nothing personal, just business. The hunted often become the hunted, and the game of predators become the prey. The whole dynamic surrounding Benavidez has become a great source of debate on social media. So this is what I've always been talking about. I said it before him, okay? To his loyalists, he is not only one of the best fighters in the world, but now a star of his own. One who doesn't need to face Joe Apataya. While others view Benavidez as someone who, while avoided by Canelo, has been carefully guided away from several key threats during his run as 3-division champion. So I think you can read this article on his Substack. Go like, subscribe to Steve Kim. So there it is, man. Benavidez has turned in to what he hated. That's the thing about life, right? Frank Bay always says this. Hit the like, don't be a hater. One day you're up, the next you're down. That's life, right? That's life, pal. One day you're the man. You know what I'm saying? You got all the bitches. And the next day you got none. Steve Kim is the man. Yeah. Really sharp guy. He knows his boxing. Been following for a while. But it's the truth. Everybody was on David Benavidez' side when it came to Canelo. David Benavidez was the man. He could do no wrong. And isn't it funny how the tables have turned? See, that's the thing with all this talking shit, right? Like Frank Bay, I could talk shit, but, you know, it could come back on me. But that's why I do it. I like to say it so that, you know, that people are going to talk shit to me. Because I think what I say is ultimately the truth. I speak the truth. I don't try to fanboy for Benavidez. I don't try to fanboy for Canelo. If you listen to Frank Bay, it's because I give you the unmitigated truth without any slant, without any bias. You know, we've been talking about this Mexican boxing, black boxing thing. We've been going on that. I hopefully I try to give you both sides, you know? I don't try to give you a narrative, a story to push. Yo, man, you're going to have to change that name. I'm not bringing anybody up with that name. You understand me? Oh, they were trying to D-bomb me. Jerks. The boxing media went against Benavidez the moment he fought Demetrius Andrade. That's interesting. I didn't even think about it. You're right, Eric Gomez. The boy who cried wolf. You know, that's the thing. That's the thing, man. One day you're up, the next you're down. And that's this boxing shit too. This boxing media. People on X, people on YouTube. Be wise to the ways of the world. Right? Hit the link, hit the like. Be wise to the ways of the world. People will try to mislead you. Right? Isn't that the parable? People will try to lead you down the road, down the windy road. K-Mac, only speak the facts. The facts. You know, go look at Victor Ortiz, he kind of clowned Oscar De La Hoya on a fight hype video. It's hella funny. Go look. But Benavidez was the man. He was the boogeyman. He was the man. And now everybody's turned on him. And what's interesting is that Canelo tried to tell him, bro, pump your brakes, chill out, stop the trash talk. It's not gonna work out for you. Canelo's opinion is worse than doo-doo. But isn't that interesting? That's very interesting, right? Canelo Alvarez actually tried to warn Benavidez about what was gonna happen. Look, say what you want about Canelo. He dug Benavidez. He ain't shit. Say what you want, right? But isn't it ironic that Canelo's Alvarez kind of words come to be true? He kind of predicted this, right? Because he had been telling David Benavidez, you're not going to get the fight talking shit. Lower your roll, pump your brakes, know your place, play nice, and who knows what could happen. Had David Benavidez listened, maybe it's a different story. Maybe it's a different situation. But it's almost like he put himself in a paper bag, right? What's that? There's a saying, right? He webbed a weave that he webbed his own weave. Somebody tell me the saying. It's a saying. The web we weave, right? So it's when a person, they spin yarns, they spin tales, they push narratives, and they end up kind of trapping themselves, like what's happening to Shakir Twitterson, right? The walls are closing in on Benavidez. Benavidez will be okay. He'll be okay. I see Benavidez' side. Here's one thing I'll say about Benavidez, right? And you guys can cook Frank Bay. Here's the thing with Benavidez. The best thing that could have happened for Ja Bataya is David Benavidez ducking him. I said mind the web you weave. I don't think that's a saying, but that sounds good. The best thing that could have happened for Ja Bataya is David Benavidez. I was thinking about it the other day, right? Like I said this before about David Benavidez. The best thing that could have happened for David Benavidez is Canelo Alvarez ducking him. Yeah, everyone must not hurt Princess Canelo's feelings. You're obsessed with Canelo. I'm going to give you both sides. I don't shit on David. I don't shit on Canelo. I try to break it down as best as I can. You can shit on Frank Bay. That's what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? But you also got to eat shit too. See, everybody got to eat shit. That's just a part of life, right? We say things and we eat shit. Right? A squeaky wheel get oil. He made the noise. Now he's looking for a way out. Well, here's the thing. The best thing that could have happened for David Benavidez was Canelo ducking him, right? Now he became the man. He's on All the Smoke podcast. He's talking with Jake Paul. Benavidez has become a face of boxing. A lowercase face, right? Hit the like, hit the link. So David Benavidez is a name now, right? A lot of people shit on Benavidez and hate him and because of Canelo and whatever. But Canelo ducking Benavidez, depending on what you think, was the best thing that could have happened to him, right? He got all this fame off Canelo's name. And now people have gone tired. They're like, oh, stop using Canelo's name. But and he's not. But now David Benavidez is the walls are closing in, right? He webbed a weave and now he's trapped. And he looks like the duck. But think about this. The best thing that could have happened to Joe Bataya is David Benavidez coming to his division and ducking him. Now, nobody knew who Joe Bataya. Only us boxing hipsters, boxing nerds, we knew about Joe Bataya, but nobody knew about Joe Bataya. Come on, let's be honest. Can you guys be honest with Frank Bay and Frank Bay be honest with you? Let's be honest. Nobody gave a fuck about Joe Bataya this time last year. Nobody knew about Joe Bataya this time last year. Joe Bataya, the best thing that could have happened for him now is now he's getting clout and fame from this David Benavidez situation. We need to see the fight though, Frank. I get it, but this is boxing. We just spent an hour talking about Haney, Shakur, and Tank, and those motherfuckers never fight each other. This is boxing, bro. So now David and Jai got the thing going on, and it works for both of them. Really think about it. Think about what I'm breaking down to you guys. Now Joe Bataya, he's getting some clout. He's got a name now because nobody knew about Joe Bataya this time last year. Let's stop pretending and acting like everybody was on the Joe Bataya hype train. So it's working out for Joe Bataya, right? Now he has a little name. He has a little clout. You know, he's with Zuffa, so he's going to go fight and do his thing. David's going to do his thing. And it's going to work out for both of them. They both up their profiles. They both get clout. Just how David Benavidez got the clout from Canelo ducking him. You understand what I'm saying? And that's kind of boxing, right? Devin Haney, Keyshawn Davis gets a little clout off Devin Haney. Devin Haney gets a little clout off Keyshawn. And that's just how it works. Benavidez on the brother protection plan from Opataya, Beterbiev, Bivol, and Usyk. I hear you, man. I hear you. But I'm glad you said that, because think about this. Bro, we got to stop pretending. Bivol just fought and nobody cared. The only reason people cared about Bivol is because of David Benavidez. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what Frank Bay is dropping on you? Bro, nobody cared about Bivol until Benavidez fought. We did not care about Bivol. We still don't. We've not talked about him. The only reason he's come up is because of David Benavidez's name. Beterbiev, we forgot about him. David Benavidez is the name. K-Mac, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but this shit is getting boring, mate. I wish I knew the solution. Well, it's just this is what it starts. It starts with us, the boxing community, boxing fans, that we talk about it. We start getting Joe Bataya's name. He has to start trending. Bro, it's the analytics. It's the numbers. It might happen now, but now Joe Bataya, his name's going to start trending. His name starts getting clicks and views. You know, look at the YouTubers. Look at people that do the content on X, on Twitter, on YouTube. Nobody's making Joe Bataya videos. The only reason if they do is because, you know, David Benavidez's name is attached. Same with Dimitri Bivol. So, you know, as people start getting Joe Bataya's name out there, Dimitri Bivol's name starts becoming relevant again. Same with Beterbiev. Then the fights start to become more what's the word I'm looking for? Possible. That's not the word, but I'm just saying it. That's just kind of how this thing works, man. This social media, and you know, like Ryan Garcia, man. Ryan Garcia, Conor Benn. Conor Benn is really not a name. It's really not a big fight, but Conor Benn, his name gets out there. It starts trending. He gets the fans. You know what I'm saying? Think about Beterbiev, man. A Beterbiev, David Benavidez fight. Is it really a big fight? It is really not a big fight. A Mikaelian fight, right? Is Artur Beterbiev, David Benavidez a bigger fight than David Benavidez, Mikaelian? In reality, is it a pay-per-view fight that's going to do 500, 600,000 pay-per-views? Not really, brother. Benavidez on Who You Fight You Nobody soapbox. Well, it's just crazy how it all comes full circle, right? That's life, pal. Yeah, unfortunately, even in Australia, it's all about Tim Tszyu. Not many average Joes know who Jai is as such a thing. Well, but see, that's the thing though. That's the crazy thing, right? In a bit of fortunate change, Jai's name is getting bigger because of David's name. But Jai's name is only getting out there because of David's name, and David is playing that card. right? Like, just think about it. But in a few months, Jai keeps fighting, ups his profile, then the fight becomes doable because it's big enough and it'll be worth it for both parties. But that's just kind of, how it works now. But the best thing that could have happened for Jai Bataya is David Benavidez coming to his division. That's the only reason we're talking about him. If David Benavidez had stayed at 175, we would not ever be talking about Jai Bataya. Jai Bataya might have been forced to go to heavyweight. But this is what it is now, man. 2026 boxing in 2026. It's all about the algorithm. It's all about the trending topic, and that's kind of how we get the fights. These guys, they throw out the stories. They fish for information. Are people clicking? Or they liking? All that good shit. Speaking of that, like, subscribe, share with Frank Bay if you like what you're saying, what you hear. But I think I'm gonna wrap it up, man. We've been cooking for freaking 2 hours now. I appreciate anybody who dropped in on a Saturday night. There was no boxing tonight, so I came in. I figured let's talk about some of the trending topics. No algorithm, no life. Yeah, man, Jai's a name because of David Benavidez. Plain and simple. That's it. If David Benavidez goes back to 175, who is Jai Bataya? But I don't know. We got to see, man. Nobody cared about Bivol. But now the David, then people care. So with that, man, let me give the shots out. Eric Gomez, thank you. Kane Mack, everybody who dropped by. Kane Mack, even Booty Loose, BDA, Morb DC. Who else? Casamigos. Yeah, man, we had a good SNK stuff. Hit the like, hit subscribe, share Technique. Yeah, man. That's boxing, man. Coach, even Eddie showed up with his prejudice bias ass, but I appreciate it, man. Mexican boxing was in the house. Everybody that showed up, man, but we'll try to get back later in the week. We got Benn Rodriguez coming up. That's the big fight that's coming up in a week. So is anybody tuned in to that? It'll be okay, decent fight. The Taker was here. So Mayorga was here. BBC Ingenuity. Vato showed up, man. Want to thank everybody. Frank Bay in the building. Connor Benn. They said they're going to announce that. Ryan Garcia. But let's see what's going to happen, man. Will Shakur announce a fight? Will Haney announce a fight? Xander Zeus, Jerron Ennis. We'll cook on that as it gets closer. It's this month, which is crazy. Hopefully, Bam Manui gets announced. But yeah, man. Frank Bay's out. I'll give you some eye candy to that.
A good roast beef sandwich. You know what I love? Oh my god. Sorry. I just love a good roast beef sandwich.
Whoa.
You know what I love?
What
oh my god.
there?
Sorry. I just love a good roast beef sandwich.
Oh shit. We had the eye candy. Love it, man. You guys love talking boxing. Oh, that song will get me, man. One more time. Let's see. Did you guys like the that's Mackenzie Dern? Yeah, man. Peace. Thank you, everybody. We out.